Today is a sad day for the home theater. I've got to send back the Perlison R18s. If you missed that video, check it out. These subs are pretty awesome. But I got them all packed up, ready to go. I believe their next stop from my house is Audio Device Live, which I believe is in a couple of weeks, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. So if you're at that show, then you'll know that these subwoofers were the same ones that were in my video. So again, if you missed that video, definitely check out the video. They're awesome subwoofers. So yes, I am kind of sad to see them go because I really thought that these would be the subwoofers that I would keep in my home theater as my reference subwoofers because they are 18 inches in size. They're not too big. They look pretty good, subjectively speaking, to my standards. And I just thought they were going to be my subwoofers. But then, of course, waveforming came along and I was like, they probably wouldn't work best for waveforming. So I'm going to wait to see what their on-wall subwoofers look like. But in the meantime, I got something else coming in. The brand new RBH 21-inch sub has just arrived. It's crated up on a pallet. On the top is the amplifier, which the box does look like it's a little crushed. Hopefully it isn't damaged. But yeah, supposedly this weighs something like 600 pounds in the crate and 250 pounds out of the crate. So I'm gonna have to unbolt these from the crate. This is actually a 14 millimeter. So if you're gonna pick this thing up, 14 millimeter for these bolts. They're on the top and then also on the sides right here. So this should be it should be really fun to try to move by myself. Which I'm going to roll all the way from there to my front door. All right, so the top is off. On the very top, you can see we got some spacers here. This is just some foam. But this, we got 6 of these bags, and these are bags of sand. I believe the sand goes inside the subwoofer to add some additional mass so that when the bass is hitting, the subwoofer doesn't slide across the floor. So each bag is, I don't know how many pounds they are, but they are not light. So I got the top off. This is undone. You can see how this wood has a slight little slant to it on the top. So once you drop it, it kind of creates a little ramp, although my driveway isn't exactly level. So there's a hinge here so that this part is actually a door. And if we take a peek underneath, we can see that the subwoofer is on casters. So this should roll straight out of the box. All right, getting the subwoofer into the house wasn't too bad, but I would recommend that you have a helping hand because it is really heavy. Now going over the specs really quick, this is a big subwoofer. It measures 44.5 inches wide by 28 3/8 inches in height by 21 inches deep. So it is a surprisingly shallow subwoofer, although it is really wide and it is really heavy, weighing 371 pounds. And that's not without adding the sand just yet. This version that I have comes in a satin black finish to keep the reflections down, and it should disappear in your home theater in the darkness. Although if you wanted to have it painted a different color, then you can definitely do that as well. Now this is a 21-inch subwoofer with a driver custom designed by Pierce Audio per RBH's specs for home theater duty. I believe Gene has a technical breakdown of the driver if you want to check out that review over on Audioholics. The enclosure itself is made here in the US. I know that's important to a lot of folks out there. And it is made from HDF, which is high density fiberboard. And you can definitely feel that it is super dense. The enclosure feels like it's made from concrete. The rated specs are from 80 Hz down to 12 Hz, but I am positive it will have a lower in-room response. On the bottom are some very heavy-duty feet, which are adjustable with the RBH logo embossed. Now, since this is powered by an external amplifier, the only thing on the back of the sub are the binding posts. It is powered by RBH's the 2602 DSP, which does have DSP built into it, so you can adjust PEQ, delays, and all that good stuff. I've got a video on their 1212 subwoofers that goes into all the features of the amp in that video if you want to check that out. On the front is the display, the menu dial, and the volume controls. It can handle 2 subwoofers, but I'll be running it in mono mode. On the back is the power inlet, speaker outputs via binding posts and speak-on connection, XLR ins and outs, and the LAN connections. Alright, so it did take me a little bit. I did get the subwoofer moved in here all by myself. The thing that I had to do was take the subwoofer, put it on its side, and just slide it across the carpet, so it wasn't too bad. It is going to be resting in the back of my theater right behind the second row. So if you're sitting in the second row, you should get a pretty good back massage. But now that I've got it in place, the thing that we have to do next is open up the back, and then I've got to fill the subwoofer with sand. To get the sand in there, there are 2 openings. You're going to have to remove the 4 screws, pop open the cover, grab yourself a funnel, which I got from Walmart for about $3, grab the sand, and then you're going to dump it into the back of the subwoofer. It's going to be 3 bags per side. And then when you're done, just seal it up. Here's a little tip. If you do decide to go with this subwoofer, you must put it in place first before you fill it up with sand, or else it's just going to make moving a lot harder because you're just adding way more weight. I think each bag of sand weighs something like 10 pounds each, so you're going to add an extra 60 pounds. It doesn't sound like a lot, but once it's inside the enclosure, it gets really hard to move. And of course, adding the sand adds mass to the enclosure, which also kills resonance that may arise inside the enclosure itself. And since the enclosure is so dense, bass should tighten up considerably. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know if you guys have heard this subwoofer yet. I know it's been to a few audio shows now. Have you ever heard of RBH speakers or subwoofers? Leave your comment down below and let me know. Also, if you missed the video for my RBH home theater review, definitely check that video out too. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.